People were excited because apparently JK and Lisa were seen together, at least that's what's being reported. I also want to get into people believing Jungkook appeared at Lisa's dance practice. We also need to get into Bulgari CEO posting Jungkook and why people are bringing up Lisa too. So hey Dumplings, is Dave Desai, hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. Grab your dumplings, hey Spling Mug merch, and let's go. Apparently, people were upset that the other news reporter did not deny or confirm the dating rumor of Jungkook and Lisa. That's probably the smartest thing they could do, as they don't know if it's true or not. There was actually a very interesting footage that came out lately and sparked a lot of conversation. Lisa worked with the amazing Taeyang and they created a dope song together. This was bound to be epic as Taeyang and Lisa are both the best dancers in K-pop, and so naturally the two would work together and create a bop that was great for their dancing skills. They ended up doing a dance practice where we saw the two practice really hard and show off their skills. The video did very well. Something that K-pop fans love to do is go frame by frame and track every little thing that is happening. Someone ended up stopping the frame at a moment where we see someone sitting in the corner. It appears to be someone with bangs and hair that looks similar to what Jungkook's hair looks like now. If you are unaware, Jungkook currently has this bob type of hair, and this type of hair we see in women too, which is important to note. People were saying that this was Jungkook at dance practice and to see Lisa, and at first glance it could appear like Jungkook. However, the person that we are looking at, it does appear skinnier than Jungkook, and really the only defying feature that we see that we believe to be Jungkook is the hair, in which case a staff member, a female makeup artist who is there for touch-ups could be it. So we actually have no idea who this person actually is. However, I definitely don't believe this is Jungkook. It also wouldn't be entirely odd or out of the question for Jungkook to be there to support Lisa or Taeyang or just be there in general. Jungkook and Blackpink's label work together, and BTS and Big Bang love each other, so it would be quite natural for Jungkook to maybe hear about the dance practice or whatever and swing by to watch or ask to swing by and watch. People were saying that Akes, the ones who only support one member of the group but hate the others, were throwing attacks online over this. There was definitely a lot of hate being thrown around, and honestly, I don't know how to deal with this if I was an idol. How do you know the existence of these death threats and hate comments online, but still feel like it's quite safe to go outside and live your normal life? And maybe not be scared that someone would attempt to break in during a private moment and hurt you. It's always a concern, I would imagine. And then recently, there were some new rumors that came out that shocked people. Lisa, if you are not aware, has done a lot with Bulgari. This is a very high-end jewelry store. I don't know if she's an ambassador, but she definitely attended a lot of the events and work with them a lot. Recently, it was believed that the CEO had followed a bunch of Jungkook fan accounts. My theory here is that a lot of these CEOs don't really have time to constantly be on social media or follow a lot of the little things that idols do. Obviously, because they manage so many artists, they just don't have time to review everything. And so this could mean that they are maybe just not aware that Jungkook does not have an Instagram account. So the CEO could have likely followed 2 Instagram fan accounts just because he didn't know which one was real. It probably wouldn't really make sense to him why Jungkook wouldn't have one. It still doesn't really make sense to me. But this is just my theory on the thought process. The CEO also posted a story tagging Seoul and then used Dreamers by Jungkook as the song in the story. People then saw that as 2 signs that they were definitely not a coincidence and decided that it could just mean Jungkook is working with Bulgari. This was probably good news for like a minute before people realized what kind of backlash this would entail, since Lisa is also a part of Bulgari. And this is also a reason why a lot of people don't want to be a part of the fandom, because they read Lisa and Jungkook drama and they think that is silly, and who wants to be a part of that? I mean, it doesn't make it appealing for me. People then started to attack the CEO for even hinting that Jungkook was going to be a part of the campaigns or endorsements, because this would mean that Lisa and Jungkook might at one point be in the same room or interact. Given that around this time, Bulgaria was having an event and many photos of Lisa and Jennie started to flood Twitter, so people were thinking about what would happen if Jungkook appeared at the event. And people love to get wild with these thoughts of Jungkook kissing Lisa or whatever, and these things are completely made up situations that people get upset about. If Jungkook did attend the event and was near Lisa, who is to say that the two would ever date or interact? And even if they do, it doesn't really matter. At least if something did happen, I can at least kind of understand people being upset, but to be upset over something that has not happened is so strange. First of all, we don't even officially know if Jungkook is doing anything with Bulgaria. Right now, it's just still speculation. Likely, maybe, but it's still just a guess. And on top of that, we definitely do not know if we will see Lisa and Jungkook interact. The fan wars really need to end. People really need to understand and stop making up things claiming that any specific group sees other members as competition. Everyone is just chilling and in their own lane. Now, switching gears a little bit, there has been a rise of AI content. I don't want to share any specific channel or any specific pages, so I'm not going to say any names or anything like that. This is probably one of the only ones that actually is like more of a recent story. But basically, if you are not aware, there are a lot of channels out there, especially nowadays, where it's kind of what I consider an AI channel. What does this mean? So I believe you can just go into an AI software, tell them what story you would like to come up with, or if you just even simply write in a prompt for the AI to generate. And the prompt is something along the lines of, I want to create a story that may not be real, but will garner a lot of attention. You can then almost get these like outlandish stories where it's like V and Jisoo dating or making out, or in this case, JK and Lisa. And all the photos and the effects and all that stuff in the video, that's all AI generated too. So they'll grab images from the internet or AI, put it together, and bam, you have a video that was created in probably like an hour. Whereas a video like even just what I'm doing right now takes like 5, 6, sometimes 8 hours to do. However, one of the things that they lack is that the story isn't real, and they are presenting stories that actually did not happen, and they're not presenting images that go along with the story. So sometimes you can tell it's more of an AI generated video if the images don't always align with what's being reported. And for channels that provide the correct information but maybe don't have images that align, I'm not talking about that because those are clearly well researched or looked into. But I'm talking about those pages where it's very clear that this is not the person or a person behind it. Even the voice that we hear is not human or just sounds like a computer generated. One of the stories that was recently posted was this story of fans visiting the cafe while JK was having a break from the military. So the military for the most part is like a 9 to 5. They do get breaks, and I believe they have some sort of weekend. So that part of the story is very plausible, right? Like during their off time, they can definitely go to a cafe near the camp. There are probably fans who see that and are very excited to see JK there. Now, the part that I believe this story adds on was this idea that Lisa walked into the cafe and they sat and chatted together and it seemed like they were in a romantic relationship together. This would be very interesting. While definitely not impossible, but it would be very interesting to see the two interact and meet each other while JK's in the military, because I don't believe there's an actual reason to meet each other. Like the likelihood of this happening if V and Jenny were dating is probably a bit higher, but I don't know if that's true, and neither do I know if Lisa and JK being in a relationship together is true. One of the ways you can also tell that it's more of an AI video is when you start to see them talk about JK and Lisa together at a cafe, but not actually see those images. And that's exactly what we're talking about here. We're not seeing those images. We're not seeing the evidence that they claim. Let me know what you think. Make sure to check out PETITION for more videos. Link down below. Thanks for the comment. Love you. Bye.